am a certified caregiver, and I focus on oral health. That's my only thing I do as a caregiver. And I happen to also be a dental hygienist. And so that's where my passion comes for oral care. I'd like to just start a little bit by beginning to tell you what my story is and how I got so passionate about this topic. My mother-in-law, who you see there on the screen, ended up at the end of her life in a nursing facility. She had COPD, and we all know what that means, that she's not able to breathe very well, right? And as that breathing gets worse and worse, they get less mobile, right? Well, she couldn't take care of herself, and she ended up in a nursing home. And she then ended up getting periodontal disease, which we're going to talk about what periodontal disease is in a little bit here. But periodontal disease effectively is a disease of the mouth that also affects the lungs. And I knew she had periodontal disease, but there were no dental people in the nursing home to help us with the periodontal disease. So what happened is her mouth kept reinfecting her lungs. And it was odd to me as a dental professional why my profession wasn't in this facility taking care of that and keeping her healthy, right? The medical team was doing everything they could do, but my profession was absent. And when she passed away, I vowed that I was going to make a difference in this realm. That was in 2002. So this has been going a long time for me. I then had another experience with my grandmother at the end of her life. Here you'll see that she's got a nice smile, almost all of her teeth, and she's 90 years old there. In the 2 short years she spent in a care facility, she lost 60% of her teeth. And again, I was like, why is this happening? Why do we have to suffer from dental disease when we're suffering from all of these other things and dental disease is completely preventable? It didn't make any sense to me. So again, this spurred me on. And once I learned more about why this is all happening and what I could do to help, I ended up helping one of my patients. I'm a dental hygienist, as I had mentioned, and in my office, this had been a long-time patient of mine. He ended up in a nursing home while he was my patient at my dental office. And his oral health when he came in to see me was the worst I'd ever seen it. And I was like, oh my goodness, flashbacks of my mother-in-law, flashbacks of my grandma came into my mind, and I said, not on my watch. So I developed a protocol based upon research that I'd been reading, where I went in and I brushed and I flossed this gentleman's teeth in the care facility once a week. I also provided the care team, with some products that have something in it called xylitol, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, that help to keep the bacteria controlled in between my visits. This is how Ed's teeth were in the beginning, and this is how Ed's teeth were 2 years later. He never needed to be taken out to the dentist. He never had any bleeding gums. He never had any tooth decay. And I was like, oh my goodness, if I can do this with him, why can't I have these services available to others and to help care teams with this aspect of oral care, which I know can be a struggle, can it? Yeah, I know, and everybody's gonna go, yeah, it's a big struggle, and I get it because I have hung around in these kinds of places and I've job shadowed. And I know how difficult this task is. And it's no different than if you were job shadowing me and I had very limited training on, say, changing diapers. I would struggle with that, wouldn't I? Because I'm not the expert at that. You guys are. What I am the expert at, though, is oral care. So together, we can make a huge difference. I developed a company called High Life Oral Care Services, and that's exactly what we do. We provide oral care to people in care facilities who need the extra help. Okay? That's what this all has culminated to.